Today we're going to be talking about combining like terms, and we're going to start out by just naming some parts of a variable expression. An expression is a group of terms that are being added or subtracted, so some kind of operation needs to be happening, maybe even multiplication, division, but no equal sign. As soon as you have an equal sign in there, it becomes an equation. So let's talk about the different parts of our variable expression. Okay, so this expression has four terms, and terms are anything separated by an addition or subtraction sign. So this expression has four terms. The next part we're going to talk about is the coefficient. Coefficient is the number in front of a variable. The variable is the letter, and it's being multiplied with the variable. So in this expression, we have the coefficients 7, 3, and -4. Be careful with that subtraction sign. That subtraction sign tells us that this 4 is negative. One thing you could do is change your subtraction to adding the opposite, and then it makes it clear that that is a -4. So the sign in front of the coefficient goes with that number. Okay, and finally we have the number without a variable. That's called our constant. Variables vary. Depends on what values you assign to them or what values you need for them in your situation. A constant is something that doesn't change. So that constant is just a number without a variable. And in this expression, our constant is 6. All right, so let's talk about like terms. That's the title of this lesson, is combining like terms. So to be like terms, they are terms that have identical variables. So in example 1, we have some different terms that have y's, m's, and we also have constants, and constants go with other constants. So let's go ahead and just use some color to kind of group things together. So we have a 3 as a constant and a -5. Don't forget this is a -5 here. Those are going to go together. We can also put our m's together. So we have 4 m's here and 1 m here. When you don't see a number in front of the variable, remember there is one of them. And then finally, we have our y's. We have a 6y and we have a -7y. And again, that subtraction sign is what makes it negative. Let's go ahead and switch this one so it shows up. All right, so when you combine like terms, it's helpful to organize it so that it's alphabetical with your variables, and then the constants go last. That's just tradition in math. It's not wrong if you do it in the other order, where you maybe put your constants first or your y's before your m's. But if you're doing a multiple choice test, or if you're looking for an answer from a list that's printed by a book company or a test, then you're going to find it in alphabetical order with the constants last. So let's just do that as we write our answer. So our m's can go together. We have 4 m's plus 1 m. So the m's are like labels. They're the things we're adding. We have 4 of them here. We have 1 of them here. So altogether we have 5 m's. For the y's, I have 6 y's here and I have -7 y's here. So I have 6 of them here and -7 of them here. That means I have -1 of them. And we can write that as plus -1y, or we can write it as -y. So there's a lot of simplifying there. There's an invisible 1 that we're too lazy to write, and this subtraction could be written as plus negative. It's up to you. And then finally, we have our constants. 3 and -5, when we combine those, we get -2. So this is what your answer would look like if you were taking a test and it was a multiple choice list, or if you were doing a worksheet with a multiple choice list. Alphabetical order, constant last, and any plus negatives would just be written as subtraction. Okay, let's look at another example, and notice it's still an expression. There's no equal sign. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms before we're simplifying. And when we're simplifying, we're just combining things that belong together. It's kind of like cleaning up your room. If you have laundry spread all over the place, maybe some bowls and dishes that you need to take downstairs, You would clean them all up by let's get the laundry together first. Let's get the dirty dishes together next. So it's kind of that same idea. We're cleaning up, we're organizing. So you want to look for things that belong together. And you might be noticing that we have a variable p in there, but we also have a p to the second power, or p squared. Remember, to be like terms, they have to have identical variables. And p is not the same as p to the second power. So it will not be combined with the just regular variable p. So we only have one p squared, one term with p squared in it. And when you put it in order, we put the highest power first. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of. So this is a negative 5p. Don't forget that that subtraction makes that 5 negative. So that's going to be the first one I write down. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put the terms with the letter p, or the variable p, together. I have 6p minus 3p. So if I have 6 of them and I take away 3 of them, I have 3 left. It's a positive 3p. Next, we only have one term that has an r. P comes before r alphabetically, so we'll put it next. And it's a positive 8r, so we're going to write plus 8r. And then finally, we have some constants that can be combined. And you want to remember that those are also negative because of the subtraction sign. So this is a negative 3, and this is a negative 8. And those together, negative 3 plus negative 8, gives us negative 11. And since it's negative 11, we're going to write it as a subtraction sign. So that is as simple as we can get. These cannot be combined because of this exponent. It's in alphabetical order. Our constant is last, so we're good. Okay, let's look at one last example just to show you what else you might run across. So this expression has 4 terms. You can see that there's 4 of them separated by the addition and subtraction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to see if any of them belong together. And when you have variables sitting next to each other like this is 5xy. This is not a like term with either the 4x or the negative 3y. They have to have identical variables, and x times y is not the same as just x or just y. So we do have another term that is xy though. So we have 5xy that we're going to be able to put together with this negative 2xy. And you might be wondering what order it goes in if you were looking for it on a list of answers that are provided. You would put alphabetical x alone, then the term with the xy, and then the term with the y. So our 4x, there's nothing to combine with it. It's going to go out front. We're going to put the xy's together in the middle. I have 5 of them here and negative 2 of them here. That means I have positive 3 of them all together. And then our minus 3y doesn't have anything to be combined with. So that is as simple as that gets. So I hope you found this helpful. If you need to watch it again, watch it as many times as you need to until it makes sense. And good luck.